Good afternoon. Yeah, it's afternoon. It's like 1 o'clock. We're going to fire this big old green machine up and load some chemical in it and go spray some fields. I spent the morning, I was out at one of our other farms with the little tractor and the rock bucket, picking some rocks and getting some of those cleaned up so we can work ground over there. But now that the dew and everything has burned off and the temperatures have warmed up a little bit, we can spray and get some of these weeds burned off that I'm wanting to get burned off before we start working ground. So we are going to fire this thing up and go out and do some spraying. I brought my other camera with me, so we're gonna put the other camera outside and take some action shots of the sprayer running. So you'll be able to see that in a little bit. All right, now I got to do my math. Yes, I said math. I got to figure out how many gallons of each product needs to go in here so we can spray it per acre. I'm going to figure that out, and I'll set you guys up and do a time lapse so you can watch me fill the sprayer. Then we'll head out and start spraying. All right, for this load, because this is the first initial load of the entire season and there's absolutely no chemical in here right now, it's going to take a little more chemical. We're filling up enough for 80 acres, so I need all of this. Plus I need 13 3/4 of a gallon of this stuff out of this tote, and then the rest gets filled with water. And there's about 800 gallons of liquid that we'll be pulling on here with 10-gallon tips. So that means we spray 10 gallons of liquid per acre, so that 800 gallons breaks down to 80 acres. But because you don't want this pump to run dry, I always set it for, I set my meter inside for 750 acres. That way when it gets down to 750 acres, I'm done, and there's still 50 gallons of liquid on here because of the fact that I don't want that pump to run dry. And now that I'm thinking that in my head, I was saying 750 acres. It's not 750 acres, it's 75 acres, 750 gallons. Just to clarify. Now I'm just adding water, and we're at 325 gallons right now. Once this gets full, then we'll disconnect the water right there, back her out of the barn and head to the field. So my screen froze up on me here. Stupid GPS garbage. But so I shut the tractor off, or the sprayer off, to try and reset it, but it's like froze on the screen. Alright, let me work on this. Okay, I got the monitor going. Right now I'm circulating the pump, and I'm going to start spraying. And I'm doing this little field behind the barn first because it's going to take a little bit to get the actual chemical out to the boom and through the tips, because I got just pure water charged in the booms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it spray for a minute or so, and then I'm going to drive, and I'm going to turn around and I'm going to come right back on the same line to try and get chemical and product out of it. Well, knock on wood, everything seems to be working correctly. Once I get this headlamp knocked out, then I'll put the other camera out. We'll do some action shots. spots you can put. I can put you guys on the outside of the sprayer. I mean, there's a lot of areas I can put you, but for as far as good shots and angles, there's only a handful of spots. This field's done. I'm gonna head over to the next field. I got 387 gallons still on, so I'm gonna head to another field and get that one sprayed. So I'm in the next field, and as I'm unfolding the sprayer here, as I'm watching the boom over there, I noticed this piece of paper. It literally was floating down out of the air and landed in the field. So I went over and grabbed it, and all it says is, the writing is hard to read, but it's a water softener with a date of 3/11/1968, $100, 4/6/1968, $140, and it says $240 total. I don't know. Some of the weird crap you see. I just had a hinge bolt over there on that wing, the right wing, that wing, because I'm pointing over there. I had one of those break on me, so right now it's kind of flopping down a little bit, and I used a ratchet strap to hold it up, just so I can finish this last 10-acre field, or 20 acres that I'm in. Hopefully we can get her done. So the bolt that broke is a 3/4 inch by 9 inch bolt that broke. I have a 3/4 inch by 8 inch in the barn. So it's 4 o'clock. I have to get to Mid-State Bolt and Screw before they close and get a bolt. Garbage. Got my bolts. So now let's get this thing fixed. To be perfectly honest with you, I've never had to repair this before, so I don't know what to expect. I got the skid steer here supporting this 10-foot section of boom, and then I'm guessing we can just pound that old bolt out and put a new one in. That was not near as hard as I thought it would be, to be honest with you. I got the old one came out. Came out pretty easy. And the new one slid right in. I think the key is to have this skid steer here. Just need to tighten it up and grease it. I like easy fixes. It took me longer to go get the bolts than it did to actually fix the thing. That's a good thing. Alright guys, I guess that's enough excitement for one day. So I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.